Welcome back to Parent Squad. It is an inevitable part of parenting. Your squishy, perfect newborn becomes a toddler. And if you blink again, it's time for middle school. Then before you know it, your little baby is a grown man or woman out in the world. But no matter their age, they will always be our kids. Joining me today is Indianapolis Moms contributor and a mother of 8, Amanda Hauser. So she knows a little bit when it comes to raising kids and when it comes to seeing that little baby grow up. And when it comes to raising girls, you have your own experience to help them. But when it comes to raising boys, it's a little different. So how do we relate to them in adulthood?
That's really hard, which is why I really was seeking to understand with this article.
Okay. So I'm sorry, before we dive in there, remind everyone how old your sons are. Okay. How many boys and how old are they now?
2 boys, 6 girls. So we are definitely estrogen heavy in our house. But my boys will be 27 in February and just turned 23. So one is full-blown adulting. He graduated from the Air Force Academy. He is a lieutenant serving overseas, doing all the adult things. And my second son is a senior in college, so he is just getting ready to launch into that independent stage.
That is awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I'm so happy that we're talking about this to you. So you're saying that our adult sons need the motherly influence just as much. It's not, you know, there's this whole saying is that you kind of give them away, you give them to your husband, you give them, you're saying that's not the case.
No.
Not in a sense.
Not at all. And I want to clarify where this is coming from, because I never wanted to assume anything as a mother that I would understand what was going on with my boys. I'm not a boy. I've never been one. I don't know how boys experience the world. All I can do is ask. And so that's what I did. I was really curious as how can I navigate this world, and how can I help them at this age, which is so hard, right? And I'm not coming with any experience of my own. I only know what I've experienced. So I literally sat down with them and I said, listen, Mom's writing this article. And I want to know for myself too, what is it that adult men need from their mothers? And I want you to not just come to me with your own experience, but these 2 young men of mine have experiences leading other men, you know, in the military, on their football
what
teams.
They've seen.
What have they seen? What have you collected from your life experience that would help me and other mothers like me navigate this world?
But you know what's so big with that statement alone is the fact that it's a question, and that should be used really in all of our relationships. How can I love and support you better, more? How can I serve you best? That is a wonderful question.
Well, and you know what's so interesting is they said the exact same thing, which I was kind of blown away with. They started by saying, Mom, thank you for asking. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how important it was to just ask and not assume. And what I found out through their response was, you know, we are always first-time parents. You think like, oh, once you have your second kid or you've been doing this for 10 years, that all of a sudden you're not a first-time parent. But that's not true.
That's not true.
You are always a first-time parent because you don't raise the same human twice.
That is 100% true. Especially for the oldest child. This is the first time you've had the oldest child, the one child at 27.
Right. And so because we are never raising the same child twice, because we are always a first-time parent, we are always growing. And I know we reflect on our own selves. Like, I still think about asking my parents for sage advice, and I'm almost 50 years old. So there's never a time where we outgrow the need to be coached and loved by a mentoring adult in our life. And so for us to assume that our adult young men will get to that age where they're like, shoo, 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 you don't need me anymore.
Right.
That's just it's a false narrative.
It also diminishes us as women too, the fact that it kind of alludes to that we're only needed for diapers and nurturing and little baby. And it's like, no, there is more value in later years as well.
Yes, I've learned that what the boys want from me and what they've shared with me is they rely on mothers for their inflappability. They want mothers to be like that rock that I can always come to Mom, and I know that's a safe place to be.
Absolutely. Okay, she has a few more points in this article we have to get to. One of them saying, do not skip out on early lessons on organization and self-care. They pay off when they grow up. Sounds like you're talking about just the daily routine, like knowing how to live life.
Absolutely, and this was a reflection of them. They said, here we are, first apartments, dorm life, and if you are trying to navigate all the new things without having some of those fundamental skills of organization and self-care,
Yeah, seriously.
it can be a disaster. So what do we do? Okay, this is how you organize your book bag. Get up and make your bed every day. This is where the dirty clothes, this is how you do laundry. Don't put your reds with your whites. Very basic things that sometimes, and I will be the first to admit, I overmommed. I did too much for my boys when they were little. And then we had to quick play catch up. But once we caught up, or we're still catching up, when we are intentionally teaching those skills, it makes all the other hard things that they're doing so much easier if life is organized. They're going to give you garbage for it, I promise you. They're not going to want to do it. They're going to think you're annoying.
Yeah, but we all went to college, school, or first apartment, or whatever you did, and you saw the people that did not have those things. Maybe it was you. And you're like, oh, well, why didn't I learn this? Why wasn't I taught this? And then you want to make sure your kids have it. Okay, men have big emotions too. So how do you help them with that? Just because you're not your little baby anymore, he's still your 27-year-old baby that needs love and support of those emotions.
Right. I think sometimes as a society, we think men are supposed to be like the strong, stoic, and handle it all on their own. Men have big emotions too. And what I learned from my boys specifically is they told me, Mom, guys hang out in groups all the time. You'll see groups of guys, or you're on a team with a guy, or you're in a squadron with a guy, and you assume that because you are surrounded with a lot of people that you are not lonely. And that's a false narrative, that you can be surrounded by a lot of people and still feel very alone and not have the deep level of relationships that you want in life. And not all guys, I don't ever want to blanketly overgeneralize anything, but what my boys were telling me was, listen, I'm not necessarily going to open up the floodgates of my emotions with you, but if you ask me, I welcome that conversation. So what does that tell me as a mom? I need to keep asking. It is a daily text message.
Because I've heard women say, oh, I don't want to bother them. They don't want to be bothered with me. I don't want to annoy them with my questions. But I think it's the right questions and not what you want to know. You're kind of asking what they want to tell you, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I do a lot.
If it's always about them, then I feel like you'll get what you're looking for.
Right. I do a lot of just checking in, right? A quick text message of, hey, I'm checking in. What do what's going on today? What do you need? And if they open it up, great. If not, that's okay too. But at least ask.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's keep going here. You say as exciting independence can be for young men, it's also overwhelming and the pressure to succeed is real. You touched on it a little bit right there, them always being in the group setting.
I think so many people are like, 18, I'm out, college, yay. And it's exciting for about a month.
Yeah.
And then you realize, I have to pay bills and organize my life and find an apartment, and oh my gosh, I don't know how to register to vote in this new city that I'm living in, and all of these changes, and there's no way that we can prepare them for all of them. So what we do need to do is be available to help them during those times of vulnerability. And they feel a little bit like they're getting thrown to the wolves, girls or boys. So just constantly being there to help equip them along the way.
Yes, being that safe space for them as they learn to navigate adult life is what you say. Yeah. And then as moms, we're often their number one resource. That doesn't change as they grow up.
No, I am probably my kids' personal Google. They are calling.
You do seem like you know a lot, Amanda. I'm just going to say.
God bless you. I don't know it all clearly, but they're calling you. They want to know, how do you boil an egg? Like, how do I get my new license plate? What do I do if I need to change the name on my water bill to my roommate's name? And all of those things that they rely on us. If we don't know, they rely on us to help them figure it out regardless. So just being available for that without judgment.
Yes. But you said something big there. Is not even necessarily about knowing everything or teaching them everything, but have you taught them the skills to figure it out?
Right.
If you focus on that, I think that is a win.
Well, and one of the things that I'm so glad you said that, because the things that my boys brought up, they're like, it wasn't just the executive functioning skills that we really needed. We needed the skills that are a little softer, like self-advocacy. We need to know how to effectively communicate with people, how to write a well-crafted email, how to talk with people in an appropriate tone, how to have gravity, how to speak in front of a group. So all of those things serve us more than even some of those softer skills, or harder skills like making a bed or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, and they're just all so important. It's just kind of how tangible it is.
Right, exactly.
And then lastly, let's add accountability in there. You're trying to teach them how to be accountable and responsible. You talk.
Well, what my boys said was, when we are teenagers and we are young, clearly we don't want to listen to mom or dad, right? Like it's kind of a groan. But Mom, please don't give up on us. We need you, and we're so glad you didn't give up on us. Hold us accountable to that good behavior. Don't blow it off as, they're just boys.
Yeah.
They'll just do this.
Because again, you get out into the world and you see the result of the parents that did do that.
They do want us to hold them accountable, even though it looks exactly the opposite during those moments. Stay the course, Mama. They need you.
I love it. I loved it. She has so many more articles where she talks about her mothering journey. She has adult children. She still has young children in the house. So you definitely want to check out some of her writings. You can read more at Indianapolis Moms. Just head to WTHR.com/Parent Squad. That's where you can get more info.